Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be about, a July forecast for Taurus people. So anyone with a Taurus rising, Taurus ascendant, Taurus lagna or moon in Taurus, this video is applicable for all of them. So before I talk about the important dates in the month of July, okay, where movement is happening, let's first assess the position of your ascendant, in the month of July. So Venus is your ascendant, and Venus is now, currently transiting in your ascendant. So guys, this is like, like you are the trendsetters. I mean, you are the trendsetters in beauty, luxury, fashion, attraction, your clothes, your shoes, your bag, your dressing sense, the perfumes. I mean, beautiful time. You would be extremely attracted towards luxury, the best quality of food, the best, places to eat, the best, clothing and, shoes, bags, purse. I mean, you guys are, yeah, radiating charm with this particular transit of Venus. So beautiful time, your state of mind, your will to win, okay, your positivity. I mean, each and everything about your body, each and everything about your social perception. It is, each and everything about how the world perceives you. I mean, you are the trendsetters in fashion, in beauty. So it's beautiful transit. Like, ascendant is completely under control, and which means that, your ascendant is under control, which means you would be able to take care of, all other areas of your life. Okay, now let's move to the important dates. So the first, important movement is Saturn getting retrograde on the 13th of July. Okay, Saturn is a very important planet for you, Taurus people. Saturn lords your 10th house, and Saturn lords, 10th house of your profession, and Saturn lords the ninth house of your luck. So it's a Yoga Karak planet for you because it lords the ninth house as well as, the cone as well as the Kendra simultaneously. So this is like, the most important planet for you. And it is going retrograde, and it is currently transiting in your 11th house. Which means, guys, the first thing, 11th house is the house of your network, your professional network, your social network. 11th house is the house of your connections, which is your social connections, which is your, professional connections. 11th house is the house of your gains. It is the house of your long-term desire. So when Saturn getting retrograde means that, you would have to rethink, you would have to analyze, reanalyze, about your professional connections. You have to check that whether these people are, helpful for me, or these people are, taking my help in order to grow themselves, in order to gain. So you have to analyze whether are you actually gaining from these people or you are giving them gains. Okay. Now the second thing is about the social connections. So you have to now think and rethink, reanalyze. Just take a pause. You have to give it a thought. Like, the people those who are, connected with you socially, there could be a possibility that, some people out of them could be negative people, could be, poisonous people, which is creating problems in your life. So it is good time to, just cut off with them. So that is, mostly about this retrograde Saturn. So Saturn lords your ninth house of luck, your destiny. Saturn lords your 10th house of profession, and it is sitting in the house of your gains. So it means, in terms of anything you expect, in terms of destiny, luck, anything you're expecting, a good news which you are expecting in terms of your profession. So yes, there is a possibility there could be a little bit of a delay. But guys, one thing you have to understand, Saturn just delays, it never denies. So that's a good thing. Which means, you have enough time. You have good 5 months to, rethink, reanalyze in all these areas. Now, one thing more is that, if there is some long term desire you have, and you have adopted a certain strategy in order to achieve that, you are like you have adopted a certain road in order to achieve that goal. So if you have still not been able to achieve that desire, I'm sorry, so maybe it's the time for you to rethink on your strategy. So that's mostly about the retrograde Saturn. I'm sorry, guys. Now, the next movement, it is happening on the 16th of July, which is your sun is getting into which is the lord of your fourth house. Okay. Which is getting into the house of communication. Now, that's a good placement. It's an Upchaya house. Third house is an Upchaya house. And sun is a malefic planet. Sun coming into an Upchaya house is an excellent placement. The only thing, you have to be careful about is the health of your mother. Okay. Because why? Because sun is now 12th from its own house. So, and it is the house of your communication also. So you have to just maintain a dialogue. Just make sure that once in a day you give a call to your mother, or once in a day you just send her a WhatsApp, because you got to be a little bit careful about her health. Okay, now that's mostly about the sun. Now, 18th of July, Mercury is getting retrograde, and guys, Mercury is a very important planet for you. Mercury is the lord of your romantic relationships. Mercury is the lord of your kids. And it is getting retrograde in the third house of communication. Okay, and Mercury is a planet which is itself responsible for communication, which rules the domain of communication. So when it goes retrograde, it means that you may make a commitment, and it is also the house of short-term travel. So there could be a possibility that you have made a commitment to your romantic relationship, romantic partner, that let's go for like this weekend we'll go for a vacation, we'll go for a short-term holiday. Okay, and then suddenly you realize that you have some pending task at work, you have to finish that, and you would not be able to go. So this is a probability. You may commit that with your kids that we'll go for a short-term holiday, and you may not be able to go. I mean, you may not be able to honor the commitment, deliver the commitment. So that's one thing you have to be careful, that whatever commitment, now also about the boss, because it has an aspect on your ninth house. So your boss, you may commit to the boss that this task, this project would be delivered by X date. Now that would be, you won't be able to deliver. So my only suggestion, what I'm trying to say is that, with Mercury being retrograde, you got to be very, very careful about the communication. Okay. Now, third house is also the house of signing contracts. So guys, be very, very careful, around signing any kind of a contract. Make sure that you at least read 2 or 3 times, whatever the terms and conditions, or whatever important things you need to recheck, you need to check. So there is one more possibility that there could be, like, you planned a short term travel, you planning to go for a like a holiday, and for say like 2-3 days. So there could be a lot of gap in the communication. So make sure the hotel reservation, the transport, everything is properly communicated in advance. So that's mostly about the Mercury. Now, on the 26th of July, and guys, this is the most beautiful transit for you. 26th of July, Venus, which is the lord of your ascendant, is getting into the house of your bank balance. Which is about the money, your wealth, your bank balance, your cash, your liquidity, your net worth in the society, the assets. Venus is moving into that house, second house of wealth. And Venus has a conjunction with Jupiter. Now that makes a beautiful Raj Yoga, guys. So in terms of wealth, it's going to be an excellent time. And if you're passing through Taurus people, and again, Jupiter is the lord of your 11th house, which is now coming in the second house. So I mean, guys, there is a very high probability of humongous money coming in. There has to be a condition that you got to check whether you're passing through with Jupiter times or Venus times, which means Jupiter Mahadasha, Jupiter Antardasha, even Jupiter Prati Antardasha, or Venus Mahadasha, Venus Antardasha, or Venus Prati Antardasha. So if that is the case, then you expect huge money coming in your way. But otherwise also, this is a beautiful transit, guys, in terms of wealth, in terms of money, in terms of your assets, in terms of your, liquidity. This is a beautiful transit, guys. It is a great yoga for wealth. Okay, now next, let's move on to the 28th of July, when Mars is finally, moving into your fifth house. So that's a big relief, guys. Because Mars has been in conjunction with Ketu. And Ketu has a feature that it detaches us from the house where it sits and transits, and it was a difficult phase. In terms of your fourth house, which means around your heart health. Okay, people who are facing issues around their heart, they would see a big relief, in terms of the home where you live. So if there would have been a lot of chaos, a lot of, conflicts at home, a lot of arguments at home, you would see a big relief coming in that area. If there, you may face issues with your vehicles. You may would have faced issues with your vehicle, because this is happening on the 28th of July. So yes, there is a possibility of issues with your vehicles, issues with the some petty small problems at home arising because of the Ketu. So of course your mother's health. So all this area you would see a big relief. And now Mars is the lord of your seventh house, house of your marriage, house of your romantic relationships, and is now moving into your fifth house of your romantic relationships, which means people who are in a romantic relationship, there is a possibility that that gets converted into a marriage. People who are single, it's a possibility that they might find a love companion, their love partner, romantic partner. Okay, people who are in a romantic relationship, they would see that it strengthens this particular transit, strengthens their relationship. So, guys, that's mostly about the important dates, important events that is going to happen. I've almost covered all. So, that's it for, this particular month, July, guys. So, if you like this video, Taurus people, I would request you to subscribe my channel. I would request you to press the bell notification. And I would also request you to write a comment, because your comment, really validates my effort. And also your whatever suggestions, I need your inputs, because this is a new series I've started. So I need your inputs in regards to what changes you want in these series, because I'll be doing this series every month now going forward. So please subscribe my channel, and also please give your inputs and suggestions. So, and yes, guys, I've shared my number in the description. I've shared my email address in the description of this video. Anyone wants to connect with me over a one-to-one discussion around their chart, you can connect with me. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for your time, and you have a great evening. Thank you.